Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am the former classroom teacher turned homeschooling mom and private reading tutor behind Little Otters Learn. And on my Instagram page, my YouTube channel, and my blog, I offer different homeschooling topics and tips, including some curriculum flip-throughs and reviews like this one. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Evan-Moor's text-based writing. This is a curriculum that is built for the elementary student, and it's an explicit approach to writing about nonfiction texts. It is organized into 15 units, and each of the units is centered around a nonfiction text in the area of science, social studies, history. There's some biographies. There's a really good mixture of topics that are covered in the nonfiction texts. So I have the second grade level and the fourth grade level here to show you. And let's take a look at what's inside. So the table of contents has a few introductory sections that we'll go over. You have a list here of all of the different passages that are in this particular level. And there's 15 of them. They will have exactly what the article is about, as well as kind of like what area it's in, if it's science, if it's geography, if it's a health article, if it's a social studies one. There's the information texts here, and then there's a separate section for opinion writing. So these are, two different types of writing. The beginning pages have this what's in every unit overview. I really like how Evan-Moor provides this walkthrough in the beginning of a lot of their teacher manuals. Providing this like smaller image of each page along with these captions is really helpful, because sometimes once you get into the text, it can be a little bit busy. So kind of having this map almost is helpful for me, at least, to kind of understand how the resource is structured. So there's the teacher pages and then the student pages. And unlike some of the Evan-Moor resources, there is not a separate student workbook. So if you're using this with a student, you're going to photocopy some of the pages in this book, or just allow the child to write in it, as I have done here. There is a rubric. So again, this is the grade 2. The grade 4 has a rubric too, but it's structured a little bit differently. This is a really nicely scaffolded program. Okay, I'm going to go over here into Unit 3. So this is a science article. They do have the reading level here at the top. The child is going to be working on a sequence writing piece with this particular passage. It's called Beavers at Work. You have lesson objectives here. You have all of the pages listed here. There is a unit focus and a lesson checklist here, as well as these are some of the kind of guiding questions. And here you're moving into the activities that the kid is going to be doing. So there's a vocabulary section, there's the nonfiction text itself. There are some usually multiple choice and sometimes an open-ended question related to the article. They're going to organize the information in some way using a graphic organizer. I really like this part of the program, because eventually down the road, when kids are being asked to respond to different types of texts, having a lot of experience with which graphic organizer to use in different writing situations is very useful. So if it's a sequencing activity like this one, then using a graphic organizer where you are kind of separating out each individual step is very useful. If you are comparing and contrasting two things, you're going to want to use a Venn diagram or a T-chart. So this program provides a lot of practice in that. And then the last piece in the second grade level is writing the actual article. So those 2 pages were for the teacher. This is the unit overview for the student. So it's a very simple, visually it's very simple. You have the unit focus. There's this nice checklist here. So honestly, what I do is I just copy these down into my kids' planners so that they can sort of, check them off as we go through the week. The vocabulary exercise, it's not very robust, but we usually take it off the page by, matching up the words with the definitions a little bit. We talk about the picture. Totally appropriate for second grade, but we just try to make it a little bit more engaging. Sometimes I will read the article to my child. Sometimes they're doing the reading on their own out loud to me. So we read the article. Again, we talk about the illustration. And then there's some comprehension questions. These are multiple choice. And then drawing a picture of, what's going on in the text as another way to kind of summarize what's going on. You have your graphic organizer. So again, this is a sequencing activity. It says read the science article again, then write information in the graphic organizer that tells how beavers build lodges from start to finish. And then the child is going to use the notes in that graphic organizer to write their final paragraph. This has a really nice addition of the sequence words that would work in this type of passage. So first, then, next, and finally. And then you're going to move on to the next writing piece. This one's on worker bees. You can see it follows the same sequence of activities. You have your layout, or I should say your checklist, vocabulary, the nonfiction text, some comprehension questions, your graphic organizer. And then I actually don't have the kids write their paragraphs in here. We have a separate writing notebook, so I have them use that. This is on community helpers. Let's skip ahead to the next section. Okay, so here's an opinion writing prompt. So a different type of writing. You can see that as you read, this is what the child should be thinking about. Think about how working with others can help you. After you read, use information from the article to write an opinion paragraph about how playing sports now will or will not help you in the future. So the child is having to take a position and write about their particular opinion, supporting it with different reasons from the text and their own ideas. This one's titled Too Much Garbage. It's another opinion writing prompt. So I think I'll flip back here to the front. And you can see geography, science, 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 social studies, health, geography, health, science, social studies, social studies, social studies, biography, biography, and another social studies article. So you have 15 different levels. I use this every other week. We actually alternate this with Lightning Lit, which I'll share another time. This has a composition piece, so I don't do this in the same week that I do the Evan-Moor text-based writing. I alternate them. So that was grade 2. Here's grade 4. There's one major difference between these two grade levels. So the grade 4 has 12 different units. Same idea though, you can see different articles in the social studies realm and science, biography. It again gives you the layout showing you the smaller versions of each page with a short description of each. So I'll show you the larger version, obviously, but this final step of evaluating your writing is something that's in the 4th grade one that's not in the 2nd. I'm actually not sure. I haven't seen the 3rd grade version, so I'm not sure if evaluating their own writing starts at that level or not. So you have a rubric here. I'll show you, I'll compare it to this one. And you can see, I don't know if they're both in the frame, but you can see that the 4th grade one is more involved. Okay, so So I'm going to flip to what we're working on this week. So this is the chocolate process. This is a cause and effect writing prompt. You can see the level here. This is Unit 3. Same idea with the overview and the checklist. And then it follows the same sequence. So the child's going to do a short vocabulary activity, read the article, answer some questions, use the graphic organizer, write their essay. The second grade one says paragraph, this one says essay, and then that additional step of evaluating their writing. You have that unit focus and the checklist that the child is working through. Again, you know, the vocabulary activity is pretty simple. We try to make it a little bit more engaging. The article at the 4th grade level is obviously a lot longer. My 4th grader will usually read this out loud to me. And there's a couple more questions at this level. And then you have the graphic organizer. So again, you know, matching the graphic organizer with the particular either type of writing or how you are going to be expected to respond is a useful skill for kids to have practice with. And I have them write in this book, but not their actual written piece, their draft. I have them put it in their writing notebook. And then this is the evaluate your writing section. So they go back through and they look at their writing. So the next article here is the Wright brothers. Here's those teacher pages again. I should mention, they don't come spiral bound. The text-based writing resources, these come just regular binding. I had it removed and I put the spirals on at Staples. I was just thinking if kids are writing, then it's nice if they can, you know, fold the book back. But kind of falling apart, so I don't know that I would do that again. You can see, again, 2 pages for the length of the article, answering questions, a graphic organizer, a section for them to write, and their evaluation. This one is on peanuts. And I'm just going to flip through so you can see. Let's take a look at where the opinion-based or argument writing begins. Okay. Oh yes, I remember this article. Once I received both of these books. I think I got these on Amazon. I read through all the articles and I remember thinking that my 4th grader in particular was going to think this article was really interesting. So this is called The Biggest Bridge. You have your checklist and your vocab section. You have your 2-page social studies article. This one has an illustrator, a photo, and a diagram. Your questions, your graphic organizer. This one's using a web. And then their section to write their essay. This obviously, if the expectation is an essay length, this page isn't going to cover it, but we don't write in this. We don't write our drafts in this anyways. And then evaluate your writing. So that is the Evan-Moor text-based writing. We cover this in a week. So let me just show you with just kind of like a random unit, maybe one we haven't seen yet. Okay, so what we will do is go over the unit focus and the lesson checklist on day 1, do the vocabulary on day 1, and then day 2, we might read the article and answer the questions. Day 3, organize the information in the graphic organizer. Day 4, do the actual writing. And then the only difference with my older child is that day 5, the child is going to go back and look at their writing and evaluate it. That was the step 7 in the 4th grade one. So yeah, if you have used this curriculum, let me know what your thoughts are on it. Evan-Moor has a ton of different writing-based curriculums. They also have 6 trait writing. which I think I'm going to get my hands on that and take a look at it too. We've been really leaning into writing instruction this year, and I'm really liking a lot of these open and go programs. We use one, it's on my cart. We use this one from the Critical Thinking Company too, which I'll go over another time. This is just for the older one, but whatever writing program you use, just let me know down below. I can talk curriculum all day, and I'm always interested to hear kind of like what programs people are using, if there's any new ones that I haven't yet discovered. But yeah, if you like this video, if you found it helpful, please like, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks, everyone.